Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, bringing you all your DFFOO news and talk every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch and YouTube. Myself and Mino Spellgood coming to you with episode 177 this coming week. You can check out 176 on YouTube, on Twitch Video On Demand, or on your favorite podcast app, tccpodcast.com, for all your links to our social media and our Discord. This is Kadaj Lost Chapter, Mother Fixation, Part 14, Lufenia plus fight. You have to fight two of these nasty camels. And they're awful. They have a recast ability called Evil Gaze, I believe, and if their int brave is higher than their current brave is higher than their int brave, they will paralyze you or petrify you. Petrify you. And so that's no good. They do gain int brave a lot. You cannot int brave down them. They are immune to that. So they can kill you very, very fast. And they have a pretty tight orb that's related to traps. Now, if they take damage or if they take an attack from an effect that ticks down before the turn, so that's Maria's trap, it ticks up by 6, and if they do it after, it ticks up by 2, or if it's on your turn, it ticks up by 2. So Maria ticks up the orb really well. Ace, every time his trap's up, it goes up by 2. Core actually can do it by 8 before their turn, or 6 before their turn, and then 2 after their turn. It's kind of, or 2 on his turn. So yeah, Core can break this fight as well. But they are immune to delay. They recharge their recast ability all the time. So I went with 2 of my favorite characters, Zidane and Kistis, for the delay delete, because Kistis, if you don't recall, she ignores immunity to delay. And so she can actually delay on the Shiva fight, and they do not reflect her. Thanks to Black Nero for that little hint. And she can do this as well. So my major strategy, the orb does not appear till 79%. My major strategy here was to kind of give me some delay delete. I did bring Ace Friend. The only thing that's ticking up the orb is going to be a Ace LD Call and Ace Friend, but that's enough to manage the orb. You could actually just manage the orb with Ace Friend, I think, fine, if you played a little smarter than I did. So at this point, all I'm really trying to do is I have Zidane kind of buffing with his BT ability here. Kistis is delaying them. Zidane is occasionally deleting them. We do have some debuffs as well. And Jet is doing the big fat damage. The LD orb, the LD call is going to manage part of the orb. And then the friend Ace, who's going to come in for Zidane, is going to manage the other part of the orb. A pretty smooth run. Took a few turns. Obviously, you can Rain's Mao Butts this, and I think you can check out Dystopia. I think Clay did that on his video in 8 turns. So if you want to just burn through this fight, Sid Rain's F Mao Bartz is definitely an option. Ace, if you have green Ace just really controls this fight very, very nicely. You can bring Orin, Core. That combo works really well. You just have to make sure Orin heals up, because Orin will take a lot of damage. And if you if you bring somebody who's doing a lot of damage and they immediately do their Evil Gaze or their Evil Eye or whatever the recast ability, and then you get them to a threshold, because they charge their recast at thresholds like 79% here, you'll take back-to-back Evil Eye attacks or Evil Gaze attacks, and that can kill Orin. Orin does have Last Stand, but and he does heal up with his counterattacks, but it can end him if he takes 4 back-to-back. So do be careful, and he will take all of them because he's covering for the entire party. Cloud of Darkness, seen a lot of Cloud of Darkness here. Twins here, obviously still doing good damage. Jekt, of course, is synergy and doing crazy fat damage. So that's nice. This is his burst phase. Yeah, just try to get his burst up as much as possible. And then I'll do the Ace LD call to manage the orb a little bit. The orb can tick up to 15. And Ace, every time Ace's trap goes off, it ticks up both orbs by 2. So it charges the orbs real nice. So that's it's just real good. Now, if you have Maria, Maria really does manage the orb really well. This is her chapter. I know it's Kadaj's last chapter, but she's the new weapon, and even though she doesn't get a lot of help on her skill, she really does manage the orb well. And paired with, I think, Maria, Core, and Orin can pretty much just destroy the fight. You can just pretty much sit, and they'll take care of it for you completely, because Maria's going to be healing up Orin too, and so if you have another healer with Orin, that's going to be really helpful for him as well. Or if you can reduce the incoming damage. Yeah, so you can see the Ace LD immediately puts 4 turns of the trap up, so you don't have to flip the card, which is really nice. In this case, if you're trying to manage an orb like that, basically you're going to get 4 turns to manage the orb, and that's really nice. So every time it ticks, both traps will go down. Every time you take an action, both orbs will go down, and they'll tick up by 2, so now we're up to 6. It's going to tick up again, go up to 8, so every time it goes off, it goes up by 2 on each boss. So every time you take an action, it goes down by 1, and it's going to tick up by 2, and then 2 more. So that's really helpful. And Ace's effect's going to be the exact same way. There are a lot of other trap characters that are available, but obviously Ace and Maria and Core are really 3 of the best characters to bring to this fight right now. I'm sure there are other people that brought other characters along this. It is a tight turn count, so I think the turn count is 65. So you want to be careful. You know, I'm trying not to waste turns with Zidane. Zidane can eat through turns. So can Kistis. She can eat through turns too, and she's doing no damage. She's just doing absolute balls damage. So you really have to be careful. In retrospect, looking at this, I think it probably best to... I don't even know. I think BT first is the right move. BT, LD. I really think BT, LD, HP attack. Because I think the HP attack might be an instant turn. I don't have Ace. I do have Ace. I don't have Ace green, so I don't use them very often. Because I end up going back-to-back turns, and that's not ideal for Ace, for orb management. They do cleanse all their debuffs at 49%, so you saw I did not use my Kurosame call at that point. My other calls were, of course, Ace and Kate Sith, so I used Kate Sith for the burst phase, and I used Ace to manage the early part of the orb. So I will put my Kurosame call up. That will tick down the orb, but thankfully Ace's traps are going to be up right before the orb hits 0, and I think I might have to summon just to make sure I don't get the orb, but I'm paying attention to the orb, so I don't want the orb to go off, and I don't want to give them a turn too, so you'll see me try to manage here B as I can still see them. If I can see them, you know, you don't have to delay. You could... I did not need Zidane. I could have just brought Kistis and brought somebody else. I could have just brought Ace in my party. That would have been the safer route, but why not use Zidane? Because if you can't see the enemy's turns, you don't really know which order to break them in unless you are paying attention, really keeping track of it in your head, which I don't do very well. So it's not really good to do that. So, you know, you can just take your time with that and not have to worry about it too much. Jekt is doing big fat damage, and that's good. Let me know. Hey, I mean, I haven't said like, ring the bell, sub, all that kind of stuff. You can become a member on YouTube for 99 cents. You should get access to, we're going to try to figure out how to make it automatic. I don't know how that works on YouTube, but we have a special Discord chat for all of our supporters, whether you're a Discord Nitro, a Twitch sub, or a YouTube member. So if you are a YouTube member and you're not part of that, you're on our Discord, just give me a message. Just DM me, and I'll add the supporter profile to your pick here, to your username. And we're also going to start a podcast supporter corner. So we're going to ask a question every week and then look for your answers and kind of share those on stream as something fun to do. And if you have ideas for the podcast, we're always trying to find a way to make it better. Mino and I really feel good about the groove we have going in. That's really, the bread and butter of what we do is the podcast. All the videos I do are just kind of advertisements for the podcast. And, I just kind of have my Lufenia run. I've never uploaded runs, but I'm just kind of uploading my Lufenia Plus runs kind of for posterity more than anything. And I figured I just might as well talk. If you want a little extra content, you can listen to me blather on for 15, 20 minutes while I'm doing these fights. So that's a way you can support us, and appreciate all of you supporting us. Let me know who you used on this fight. Probably found it a little easier than Divine Shiva, although it depends on who you brought, I guess. With this team made it pretty easy, so when the bosses don't act, it's always an easy time. It's just managing your side and managing the orb. And you'll see the orb's going to start ticking up again, which is nice. Still kind of figuring out Jekt. I have to do that. Have to get a little bit better at managing him moving forward when he's not synergy. Make sure I'm bringing enough support. I have to break out my butts again one of these days to support him. Wait for some other supports down the road for him as well. Might even have to pick up Lena. Lena's a good pairing for Jekt. She brings a lot to the table. But next is Shadow. So he's a favorite, so I'm going to get Shadow and hopefully blue him. And later in the month is Kane, and so Kane is a favorite, so get him. And then we'll see where we are then with Lena and Selfie. Yeah, Lena and Selfie would be kind of whoever I've got tickets left over for. Worst case scenario, I burn through all my tickets and don't get Shadow and Kane and have to go to gems. That would suck, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But they are one of my 20 favorites. I did share those on the post show last week. You can check out that post show on 176. It's on the YouTube video on demand, or if you want to listen to it separately, you can listen to it on our podcast, on your favorite podcast app, or on tccpodcast.com. You can just listen to all the shows and the post shows there. But Nitre from FFOO Tip joined us, and that was a lot of fun. We had a great talk, talking about resource management and sales and whaling and just a lot of other fun things. Really enjoy having Nitre on the show. He's a good guy to talk DFO with, so always enjoy talking with Nitre. And so many of our other friends. We have a good group of friends that we always enjoy hanging out with after the show. That just makes it a lot of fun. I mean, that's why we do what we do. It's just, this is a hobby. This is something we do for fun, and gathering your friends together and talking about it for a couple hours a week is a lot of fun. It's something we enjoy. I'm happy to do it. So Ace is coming out, and I got a few turns on the orb, so I don't think orb management's an issue at this point. Still haven't used my summon. Again, gonna wait till Jekt to try to get some extra turns on him, so he's doing his damage. Zidane burst effect is running low though, so I have to be careful. I don't want to burn through his burst effect, because at this point he's just basically supporting. I don't know why I did that even. I should have just done Stellar Circle, because Zidane's not doing any damage. Yeah, but he can launch, so that launch damage will be good. Yeah, there you go. And at this point, I still Jet. Man, doesn't I know his Brave Plus is bugged? Doesn't really matter, does it? Because when are you ever going to use his Brave Plus? Yeah, that's just, I don't even know why I'm doing that at this point. I have so much room, so much room for error and a summon phase I haven't used yet. So at this point, it's just a matter of letting Jet, and I didn't do it well, letting Jet actually act. and I should have, I think I had enough turns on my buff that I didn't need to, I don't need to use his LD, but I do use his LD. Because I think Jekt Slash is still the best option. Let's see how much Triumphant Grasp does. Well, that was a launch, so that's going to do a little bit more. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the LD's still going to do more, especially with that launch, so. Yeah, and I don't know why I'm giving Zidane. I don't know why I'm giving Zidane turns there. I mean, still, it's 250,000 damage, but I did not give Jet. I could have given Jet 3 or 4 consecutive turns in summon, and I really should have done that because, you know, sure as hell Kistis is it's not terrible damage, but 200,000 compared to, you know, 800,000 or 1,000,000 is not great. So, yeah, I'm giving these idiots way too many turns. This is at the end of the fight where you're just like pressing buttons as fast as you can. It's not the best way to check on my buffs. Not why am I checking my buffs, I don't know. Yeah, because Beat Rush is gonna break and give myself the consecutive turn, but you know that's not where the damage is. The damage is Jack Slash here, and I burned through Zidane's beat. I mean, just misplayed here. This is my first run, so that happens. That happens. You see Jet just doing so much damage comparatively. But again, had 20 turns. A few more. I think it's going to end up being like 47, right? 65 turns. Nobody's taking damage. The bosses haven't had a turn yet. So, again, if you're watching, thank you. Like, sub, ring the bell for notifications. Become a member if you'd like to, or you can sub on Twitch, or give us a Discord boost as well, Discord Nitro boost. It's another way to support us. Let me know how you did. I appreciate all of you, and we'll see you for the next video. Goodbye. Check out the team here, and all my orbs, or all my spheres, and all my arts. Yeah, almost didn't make score. That's great. Oh, until next time, friends. Goodbye.